And finally, healthy food for fussy kids. Our expert, Annabel Karmel, is back. Nice to see you, Annabel. How are you?
So nice to see you. I'm great, thank you.
I love this bit because I get to eat the kids' stuff. Who are we going to help though today?
Well, if you have a kid who doesn't like eating their fruit or their vegetables, I can help you with that. And if you're starting out just feeding your baby, you know, when do you introduce solids? When do you introduce chicken, fish and meat? Do you just continue with fruit and vegetables? What if mealtimes are a real battle and the child says they don't like it, but they haven't taken the first mouthful? What do you do? How do you get them to eat new foods? Allergies. What do you do about allergies? How do you know your child has an allergy? It's a lot of problems, and more kids are having allergies nowadays.
Now, don't forget, if your kids refuse to eat what's good for them, this is good for them. Our expert, Annabel Karmel, is here to help. What sort of calls are you after?
People who are having problems getting their kids to eat fish, that's salmon and fish cake, vegetables, fruit, all these things are quite difficult sometimes with kids. A new mum, it's a worry now. When do you introduce solids? Should you wait till 6 months? Can you give solids earlier? And then when do you give fish, chicken and meat?
What about when they just have, they say, in my sister's class one, I'm not having peas, I'm not having peas, I'm not having peas. And you reckon you can get children to eat the foods you want them to eat, or would you allow them to
with a
have
bit
their
of cunning.
way?
Sometimes you have to disguise them, but I would say don't worry, because 90% of children are fussy eaters. And in fact, the more fuss you make when they don't eat, the more likely they are to play up. Sometimes you just have to ignore it. But there are ways, and I'll be talking about ways to disguise foods, and ways to encourage children to eat, and also how to make a whole family meal so everybody eats the same thing.
I like the sound of that, and I know that all the cameramen are very keen to try the desserts. Surprise, surprise.
That's extremely yummy.
Stay away from the desserts. Now, we're into the final part of today's show. Our expert, Annabel Karmel, is back to help anyone whose kids simply won't eat what you put in front of them. That's the main problem we're trying to address. 0207 173 5555 is the number if you'd like a word with Annabel, author of this, the Baby and Toddler Food Diary. Well, I mean, all children are fussy eaters, aren't they?
All of them, yeah. And it's really hard, and I don't think we're prepared for it as parents. And I think that sometimes the more fuss you make when they don't eat, the more they play up with you. So sometimes it's best to ignore it, and then when the child's hungry, they will eat something new. Because the problem is, they don't try anything, and they say, I don't like it, and they've got their lips, but they haven't
I know from your previous visits, there's the art of deception that parents need to master, a soft sell, that maybe there's a different way you can pitch the food. Bribery, there's a million techniques you have at your disposal.
And eating as a family. I think if you eat as a family, generally children eat better and they see you eating and they lead by example. And just making food tasty. I mean, all my books have very few ingredients. They're very simple recipes to make. You can freeze them so you don't have to be cooking every day. The idea behind the new book, The Food Diary, is that when you have a baby, you do worry about food allergies. And there's this hygiene hypothesis that because we are so clean now that our immune system isn't stimulated, so our immune system starts to attack harmless substances like cow's milk or eggs or something that would normally be okay.
Get kids to eat dirt. I used to eat coal as a toddler.
A bit of dirt isn't so bad. So the idea is that in the book you can actually put your reaction that the child has to a certain food. So if your child does have an allergy, you can pinpoint the food that caused it.
Probably best with allergies to see a doctor. Let's throw it open to you guys, though. 0207 173 5555 is the number if you'd like a word with Annabel. Who's on the line first, please, Amy?
OK, let's start with Lucy. She's on line 1.
Morning, Lucy.
Hello there.
Hi there.
My son is 2 and a half, and for the past year, mealtime's been a real battle. All he wants to eat is bread, and the sheer sight of food he actually goes crazy for, so help.
How long's that been going on for?
About a year.
About a year, right.
Literally, he loves toast, he loves sandwiches, but he's got to have tuna in it, nothing else. He won't eat anything else. And
so bread and tuna?
Yeah.
OK, sounds perfectly normal to me. Annabel?
It is quite normal that children get fixated about a particular food and that's all they want. So what I would do is
I've just been told we've got somebody else who's saying exactly the same thing with bread, same kind of age.
Exactly. Well, bread is a good food, especially if it's whole grain bread, and tuna is a good food, so at least your child likes something that's good for them. What I would do is I would take, you know, these English muffins you can buy in the supermarket. I would split them and toast them. And what I do is I make a hidden vegetable tomato sauce, like with tomatoes, lots of vegetables in it. Then I cover it with cheese and I put it under the grill. So it's like an individual pizza, but your child's eating vegetables as well.
Right.
And with tuna, I make something really tasty. It's tuna, Greek yogurt, a bit of tomato ketchup and some spring onions. I put that onto a split toasted English muffin. Again, I put a little grated cheese on top, put it under the grill.
So what I can extrapolate from that is don't tackle the problem of no more bread, no more tuna. Take that and use it to your advantage by slipping other stuff in.
Start off with something that they like, rather than making your life so difficult and giving them something new, which they'll say, "No, I don't like that. I want my bread back." Good. I like the idea. Lucy, it's got to be worth a try, hasn't it?
Definitely.
Sticking some other stuff in there. I have to say, it's terrible doing this on a Monday morning. As Annabel starts talking about bits of onion in tuna, I can actually feel the old saliva glands kicking off again. Right, thank you for the call. Let's have another, Amy.
OK, let's go to Josh on line 4.
Joss, isn't it? It's Joss.
Yeah, that's right. Sure.
Yeah. Morning, Joss.
Morning.
Hi there.
I've got a 7-month-old baby, and I've just gone through the first phase of weaning and sort of eating fruits and vegetables. Yeah. But I'm just a bit worried about moving her on to meat and protein. Right. Just in case she doesn't like something more savoury. So I don't know if Annabelle's got some ideas for first protein recipe.
And we're talking about 7-month-old?
Yeah, 7 months.
OK.
That's a really, really good point, because so many mums continue giving only fruit and vegetable purees, and they're actually low in calorie. And a baby grows more rapidly in their first year than any other time. Yeah. So they need protein, and they need what I call nutrient-dense foods. And meat is particularly important, because the iron they inherit from their mother runs out at 6 months. So I've got something over here which would be great. This is a hidden vegetable bolognese sauce. It's got like carrots, celery, red pepper, all sorts of things in it, and the meat. And this is a great one for introducing a child to chicken. It's not a fruit puree, it's actually chicken puree. But it's chicken, tomatoes, leeks, and dried apricots. Now, the addition of fruit makes the chicken really tasty and slightly sweet.
Can I stick my finger in? Actually, I'll do better. I'll use a fork. I like...
It tastes really nice. It'd be better hot. It's cold at the moment.
Well, that is all right, actually.
It's delicious,
yeah.
It's got sweet potato in it as well. So one way to get your child to eat meat or chicken is to add root vegetables. This has got sweet potato and fruit. And it's so important from 6 or 7 months to be giving fish, chicken and meat.
So 7-month-old is exactly the right time to kick off.
And I think a lot of people worry that the child will have an allergy to, say, fish. But you're much better off giving fish. You'll know straight away if there's a reaction, and not to withhold it, because otherwise babies don't get what I call essential fatty acids. It's so important. OK. Joss, I hardly recommend the chicken whisked up with... what else is in that again? Sweet potato, chicken, tomatoes, dried apricots, and sautéed leek. God. I'd be happy having it, Joss, quite frankly. Sweet. It's delicious. Give that one a go, and good luck to you. Thank you for the call. Let's have another, please, Amy. Last one, I think. Yeah, we're going to go to Suzanne on line 2. Morning, Suzanne.
Morning. Hi there. I just wanted to ask Annabel, my wee one's about 8 months, and I've been following her book, and a little like the last lady, she's great at eating all the fruit stuff, but when I try to put any vegetable or the protein near her, she just closes her mouth, and I wonder, should I keep giving her the fruit while I'm persevering with the others, or kind of stop giving her the fruit until she's used to the other foods?
Right. OK, it's a good question as well. Well, fruits usually provide more or less the same nutrients as vegetables do, so you can relax a bit. So either is perfectly acceptable, yeah. And you can combine fruits and vegetables, so you can do something like parsnip and apple, or you could do like sweet potato and peaches. So you combine them together. Again, if you want your child to eat vegetables, I wouldn't give too many fruits probably, but I would try and give the sweet-tasting root vegetables that your child will like. And like your sweet potatoes again, which that figures out quite a lot in your... And the other thing is that kids tend to start liking finger food, and they don't want to have, you know, food that you give them on a spoon. They want to actually hold it themselves. And that's where vegetables come in, and they're very popular, is like carrot sticks, raw vegetables, or cucumber. They love it. Or something like sweet pepper. OK. And you can put them into hummus. And interestingly, children love hummus, although it's quite strong. But, I mean, the upshot for Suzanne is actually not to be unduly worried there. No. It's no big deal. Yeah, I was just about to say, I really want to know about this. This is a fruit dessert that's fabulous. What I did was I caramelised some porridge oats. So I put them with a little bit of butter and sugar, so they're really tasty. OK. And then I soaked a little bit of apple with a little butter and sugar, so it's caramelised again. Then I added some yoghurt and honey and some fresh blackberries, and I've layered it up. So it's kind of a porridge, yoghurt, fruity sundae. So it's really good for you, but it tastes delicious. Oh, this is the best job in the world doing this show. Listen, that's all we got time for this morning. I do have to say my thanks to Annabel for all the tasty ideas, all of which you can find in a new book. But most of all, thank you for watching and for phoning in. How can we top this tomorrow? I don't care if we don't, actually. I'm just going to eat this. No, with the help of the adorably eccentric TV chef Clarissa Dixon-Wright, while relationship expert Francine Kay, alias the divorce doctor, she's back on the sofa to help more of you decide whether or not your romance is worth fighting for. That's tomorrow at 9. Thanks for watching this morning. Hope to see you tomorrow. Bye for now.